The other thing is, one that you flagged up was the Bat bike.
Yeah.
Reared its
Because I'm
ugly
a
head.
massive nerd. It's ugly head. Yes, it really is ugly head. Actually, yeah, I don't know whether I think it looks that good.
So was it Glasgow where they were filming the new Batman movie?
It was in Scotland. I think it was Glasgow, yeah.
And then some sort of photos leaked of it.
There's some photos, and there was also a video of the stunt rider falling on his ass.
Well,
Because it does look a little bit ungainly, the bike.
So there's a few contributing factors to the fact that this stunt guy... I mean, firstly...
I don't know if it was for the shot. I didn't know if they were meaning to. And then I watched it back a few times. I was like, no, that's an accident.
It looks like he was just... Oh, no. Yeah,
I think
it's
he
an
just
accident.
couldn't stop it because it's super heavy.
But it looked like they... It looked like they were just riding back to the trailer or something. It didn't really look like a scene because they weren't going very quick. They'd wait for a dry day. So, on the Tiger 900 trip, the stunt guys from the Bond movie, which has been delayed now, were there as some of the riders because they used the Tiger 900 in the Bond film. They can ride. Like, they can seriously ride. Like, it was crazy watching them ride on the sand. Because they're all motocross riders.
They can, though. I mean, if you've seen the clip, right? The most epic stunt in the Bond film. I say that I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming the bit where he ramps it up them stairs.
Yeah, that looks incredible.
That's insane. You have to be able to do that. That is insane.
And they've all come from this, like, racing motocross. The kind of general story for these guys is like racing motocross. Someone says, "Oh, can you come and do this film?" And then you just don't look back, sort of thing.
Yeah.
One job comes after the next, and then you learn to fight, and then you learn to kind of choreograph fight scenes, and then you end up being a stunt supervisor. By the way, there's a helicopter going over. You hear that? That's probably a Chinook that we get them going over all the time.
I can hear it. It's quite loud. Quite close too.
So they can really, really ride. I mean, I was super impressed by the guys from the Triumph Adventure Centre as well, who were former racers, I think some of them, watching them ride there. So what I'm trying to say is I doubt it was somebody who doesn't know how to handle a bike that would crash it like that.
The other thing, though, is that watching the bike, I've seen a video of it from, I think, like the Glasgow Press or something like that, where he is just driving it back to the trailer again, around the same sort of area. And he's doing this little tippy-toe hop thing, and he nearly sort of edges it and drops it because it looks like the most sort of bonkers build. It's not built for practicality in any way, shape, or form. It's a prop, yeah. So using it doesn't handle like a bike should. Unlike with the Bond one, where doing those kind of stunts, they modify it to aid them in the stunts to make sure that it is capable of doing what it needs to. This one is just there to look good.
So what happens on the crash video is basically he's coming down a gradual hill that's got a slight curve in it.
It looks like cobbles or something.
It's cobbles and it's wet.
Yeah.
It's a big bike. It's looks like a really long wheelbase. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just that he thinks he's going to hit the curb because it is kind of curving around to the left slightly. But what happens is the back starts snaking, doesn't it? And it starts to come out, and then eventually he just kind of like high sides off, doesn't he? He's not very
rolls.
Spectacular, is it? He's not going that fast.
Oh no, but I can imagine that would upset some people. Imagine if you scuff it and you're like, we've got to use that in the next
The worst thing is he's wearing a Batman suit as well. Like that makes it look worse.
No one likes to pull up at the petrol station and drop their bike. It's embarrassing for everyone. But if you do that on set with everyone with their camera phones out, that's worse.
Yeah. I wonder if he just kind of... It just seems unlikely to me that someone with a lot of experience would lock the back up like that. But there must have been something out of shot that he was riding towards that he was really trying to stop for.
There was a rabbit just ran on and he was.
Well, I was thinking more like a catering truck, and he was about to go into a stall of like hot tea, like a tea urn.
No, I was trying to make him a hero, and he was saving either a rabbit or maybe a puppy. Maybe a puppy's got some more weight to it.
But no, the bike,
is.
What is it? You put it on the Facebook group.
No one knows. Right, yeah, no one on the group knows.
I've not plugged the group yet. For anyone who's listening that doesn't normally listen, aka you're new, and you want to get involved with like some of these chats about the stuff we talk about, go to Facebook and search for Full Tank Motorcycle Podcast, and we got a little private group. Ask to join. We pretty much accept everybody. And then you can kind of chip in. And we posted posted a picture of it.
I posted some pictures. I was just wondering what everyone sort of thought it was. I've got my own theories on what I think it might be an amalgamation of, because I don't think it's any one bike necessarily. It looks like a bit of a Frankenstein. If you look at
Frankenbike.
Frankenbike, yeah.
Bikenstein.
Yeah.
Bike and bike?
Oh, no, wait, it wouldn't be a Frankenstein, would it? Because that would be the doctor. So the maker of this bike.
Yeah.
Anyway, the swing arm is huge. And from what I can tell from the engine, it looks like it looks like either a 4-cylinder, right? A legit 4-cylinder in a box formation. So transverse kind of laid down box, like a flat 4-cylinder,
Yeah.
like Honda Goldwing, for example.
It's
as
not
an
though, is
engine.
it?
But I don't think it is. So
Because that was the
other
old
theory
Goldwing that
is-
was 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
'Cause it's 6 on the new one.
Yeah.
So
Which they could
is
use
it
an
a
old
K?
engine.
Is it? Do you think it's a BMW K?
It could be a K, yeah, exactly. That's the other theory for my mindset anyway. Or it's got 2 fake exhausts on it. And it's actually just a twin. They already have an R9T, which is Catwoman's bike, so maybe they've just got 2 R9Ts and they have bastardized one of them into turning it into whatever it is. But yeah, maybe it is a K instead.
Okay.
Who knows? Engine-wise, the rest of the bike, you form your own opinions. It looks like it's completely bespoke, one-off.
It has a fairing on it, like a cafe racer fairing.
On the front, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where fairings always
pointy
are.
Batwing kind of thing. No, I mean on the headlight though, like a bikini fairing.
Yes. And it looks like, a normal sports bike would have like a U shape and then it would have a bubble of screen there.
Yeah.
But it has no screen, does it? It just has these 2 points
Yeah.
pointing towards the rider.
Yeah.
He's lucky when he dropped it, he didn't impale himself.
Yeah, no, he really could do. That's pretty sharp. But then he's wearing body armor, and he is Batman, so he can probably take it.
But then you put on the group, if you were going to choose a bat bike, what would it be? And there was a few answers in there.
There were. Somebody said a stock Diavel. Can't argue with that. I think I'd go with something like that.
Yeah.
Someone said a Triumph.
Rocket
why
3?
Can I not? Yeah, Rocket 3.
Doesn't look quite Batman-y enough.
Yeah.
It has something about it.
Modify
Like,
it.
it's long. It's got big chunky wheels. Like the bat bikes, they're modded in that way. They make them much bigger and longer and put big wheels on them and stuff.
It needs to be quick, though, doesn't it? If you're going for a rocket, that thing is a rocket.
Yes. Nicely put, Tim. As always, poetic as ever.
Someone said an MV Agusta.
Nah.
Would
Too
you not?
flashy. Too flashy.
Yeah, a bit flashy. I think if it was like
it needs to be black.
Bruce Wayne would drive an MV Agusta, it'd be in his garage. He'd have loads.
Yeah, maybe.
But Batman wouldn't.
Batman wouldn't. It's got to be more industrial looking and blacked out, and that's why like something like when you go to the bike shed show and you see those custom Ks where it's like everything's been stripped away, but it's just got that really squared off kind of industrial looking engine.
Well, that's what a lot I think of what this Batman is. I mean, the custom car as well, because they leaked that recently as well, and that looks it basically looks like Batman is building stuff. It looks pretty raw.
Okay.
As opposed to the sort of polished old school where he's got like an arms manufacturer making his stuff industrial. This one looks like literally Batman has an oily rag and a spanner and he's making his own vehicles, because he starts actually off, there's another shot of him earlier in the film on a Brat CB750, I think it was. So obviously the origin of his story, wherever they're sort of leading this with, he must start off on that or at least have it at some point. And obviously the Batbike is it looks like something he's just literally just battered himself, got some aluminium in.
So it's funny you should say that, because like there's a weird subculture for Batmanifying vehicles, isn't there? Have you ever noticed this?
Yeah, sometimes.
So
I think I saw like a V-Rod that someone had done it to or something.
This is it. Everybody's seen some Batman vehicle. 2 that spring to mind for me. One was a an 1150 GS, like the old one. And they sprayed everything black.
Right.
They put a grey matte vinyl wrap on the tank. And then they put the Batman logos where the BMW logos would be, like some round ones they'd had made. That just seemed weird to me. Like the GS.
It doesn't sound like it would be a great choice.
It wasn't good. I saw it and I was like, nah, why have you done that? I associate the GS with being like an older, and just because of the price and like the kind of lifestyle of it. And then I just thought, like, no, how could I be like 50 and I go down to the BMW dealer and I put like at least 13 grand now on a BMW, on a GS. I bring it home and then I spray it black and I put some Batman logos and like paint the tank grey. And then like I said to my wife, have you seen my new bike? I've Batmanified it. I
got a rattle can out.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to look like Batman's bike. And then she put, but you're 50.
Yeah. What are you saying? You're not Batman?
Yeah, well, just like...
Did you see the guy on it?
Look, I'm totally fine.
Did he look ripped?
No, I didn't see him. But I'm totally fine with like a teenager, or maybe that's a push. Like an 8-year-old has a little push bike, and they get some paint, and then they put some Batman stickers on it.
You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
Like teenagers.
That's
beyond
fine.
That. Yeah.
But to go and buy a GS as a fully grown adult. Another story I heard as well is at Crazy Horse, someone bought one of those three-wheelers that Polaris make that are kind of like
yeah.
slingshot.
Uh-huh.
Batmanified that. He's like, yeah, I've even put guns on it and sent a picture to them.
Wow.
And like pointing out of the little vents on the front or something, there was some like Nerf guns that he'd spray painted like the right color, like red or whatever they were on the original Batmobile.
I mean, that's cool. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I don't know. I just didn't get it.
Up, Rob?
Yeah.
All right. As resident nerd, I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna fight for that corner. It's weird. It's a lot of money to spend on something and then modify it, and then if you ever have to sell it or do something with it.
But why is this Batman obsession still kind of?
Because Batman's cool.
But when you're a bit older, do you think it's because Batman was like
everyone wants a Batmobile when they're a kid?
I
and you
know,
get to be an adult and you've got the money to have it. Although I wouldn't say a GS was the Batmobile. It's a good bike. Don't get me wrong, but it is not the Batman bike. It needs to be low and sleek and fast looking. It does not need to be an adventure touring bike. Batman doesn't really care about mileage, does he?
The thing is, like, people buy bikes a lot of the time because they want to look a certain way. Like, there's no point in buying a sports bike in the UK, really, like a litre bike, because there's barely any, for me anyway, there's barely any roads you can use it on. But I still don't mind that people buy them because it's like, it's a little bit of like...
no, each to their own, completely.
Yeah, it's like, it probably want to say something about themselves. Most people who buy adventure bikes probably don't get to do that much adventure riding, but it's like they want to show they're adventurous, I suppose.
And they want to know that they could, if they ever needed to.
What would somebody who's done a Batman conversion on a bike...
That they want to fight crime. Or that prove that they could fight crime if they decided they wanted to.
I don't get it, mate. Shall I Batman my
well, this
street
is probably
twin?
a bad... yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes, you should. Stick some wings on it.